Whoa, this place is beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagin. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagin. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagin and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagin and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagin had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagin was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Xion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
You can never be too prepared. But did we have to spend...
It's finished. Hopefully the others like it.
Damn it. Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Hold! I am Lord Dohalim of Elda Menancia. I command you.
Rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
That'll bring you down!
Rotating pile driver.
Here I come! It's over!
Tornado drive!
Freezing storm!
The enemy wields ours too.
We'll soon see about that!
It's almost too strong. Split it open.
Be my guest!
A freezing storm!
Bloody howling.
Locked and loaded! Tornado!
Green base is blood. Rending you apart.
Double demon fang!
Resonate with the earth.
Mirage! Burn in hell! No escape!
Base
Double demon fang!
rending you apart. Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite. Here we go.
Our arc is being interrupted.
You're mine! Double demon fang!
I'm ready!
You're finished!
Armor won't save you.
Take this! Take
None
this!
shall escape!
In a bind.
Rising Wyvern!
I'm on it. Begin.
Take this!
Hurricane.
You're finished!
Watch it.
Double demon fang!
Freaking curse it.
No!
Far enough!
Here I
Here's a
You picked the
healer!
wrong fight!
Elusive deity.
Not on my watch!
Rotating power driver.
Rising Wyvern!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes.
Eat this!
Take this!
Crescent flash.
Double demon fang!
Eat this!
Release. Elusive deity.
Rotating
Watch it.
Rising Wyvern!
Here we go again.
You're finished! Mirage! Double demon fang!
Resonate with the earth.
No escape! You're mine! It's over! Mirage! Double demon fang!
Begin. Roll him down.
This one's mine!
That freaking does it.
Rising Wyvern! This one's mine!
Now you see what I can do.
Ignite!
I'm ready.
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes.
Now! You're mine!
I'm on it.
You're
Begin.
finished!
Take this. Here we go again.
Rising Wyvern!
I'll face
We're
you.
not finished! Rising Wyvern!
I'm ready.
Mirage!
Say, ha, blow them away.
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.